Hello everybody, it's me Ryan Tanguma, and on this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a character in Flash. Now what you want to do is first start off with a head measurement. The human body is about 7 heads tall, but I'm going to be using my newer style, which makes the characters more anime style. So say this is 1 head tall. I'm going to make the character about a little bit over 6 heads. So 2, 4, 6, and then a little bit above 2. Then what you do next is add the divider line, the symmetry line. And I mean, if you don't want to, if you just want to place symmetry by eye, then you could do that as well. This just helps. So now that we have this, to make it bigger, that way you can actually work with it. Now this is going to be long, so if you don't like long videos, then you may want to either be patient or go do something else. So I'm going to use the edges as symmetry lines for the circle. And this circle is just going to become the head. So you put the circle there. And there are a couple ways you could do this. I'm not going to go my original route, but I'll just do it to make it less time consuming. And then these lines will become the chin. If I transform, okay, that's fine. Forgot my shortcut. Okay, there's the head. So now that we have the head, we're going to add the neck, which is pretty simple. Just go like about here. Make sure that the neck curves. Now this is going to I'm thinking of making this the female model. So there's the shoulder. And before we add anything else, I'm going to that's bending down a little too much. I'm still learning how to use I'm still learning how to make a good female anatomy figure. just barely got a good grasp of it. So there it is. And make the shoulders a little smaller, they look too wide. There we go. Then here we're gonna add the chest. The chest lies at about the third line. That's what I usually find anyways. It's starting to look weirdly shaped. So we'll take the circle, well, the part of the circle, hemisphere more technically. I'm not sure why it curved on itself then. Thin this down. Then you take the chest and bring it down to about line 3. Now if you want, you could expand it, make it bigger. Actually, that looks like it's a little bit native. Oh, I can fix that later. So then you add the hip area. Now the hips on a female body are obviously or generally higher than a guy's, especially in anime. So the area where the torso and legs come and connect are about around line 4. So you just do this. Now as you can tell, I'm only doing half the body. That's because at the end I'm just going to do a symmetry cut. Now, if you notice in anime, the inner leg part is the part that generally doesn't curve very much. It'll curve pretty low too. So about up here. Too much curve there. And you don't have to add this, but I generally make all lines just a little bit curved. And when the leg comes down here, like I said, this part curves less. Actually, that's probably curved a little too much. Okay. I just got a new keyboard for my Mac, so I'm trying to learn all the keys. Sorry about that, that was the phone ringing. And as you can see, a lot of time has passed. Mainly because I don't like a lot of noise being in tutorials. Or at least in my tutorials. No worries. Now, going back to the leg. And take this line and put it into the kneecap a little. You bend this inward a little bit more. Curve again. Then around here, I think, the ankles will start. I already have this base made. On there it might be curved, but here it might be off. Just playing it by eye right now. Yep, then this muscle bends out a little more. Then here's the feet. Now, this part, some people have complained to me that my feet look like they're too dead forward. So here I'm going to try to give them a little bit of like three-dimensionality, but like the feet aren't going dead on towards you. So there's the first ankle. Then there's the heel. Then I'm going to make the start of the second ankle. This ankle is going to appear less. In fact, even the first one might be a pretty big ankle. I'm just going to go back and fix that. There. Maybe a bit lower since it's closer. Move that one. Now I'm still learning the anatomy of the foot, so this isn't going to be professional. But what you want to do then is kind of give this a three-dimensional feel to it by taking the lines and making them come outward. Then about down here. I'm going to do this first. This will be the back of the foot. Well, not the back, the bottom of the foot. This part rarely ever gets shown, but in the event that one of your characters is looking like this, and you could have this made. Okay. And here we bring this part up. And then you start adding the toes. Oh, hold on. Pause again because noise was being made. Okay, so back to toe. You just use the circle tool. Toes are basically circles, but at the bottom they are kind of flat, so you could either take this part and flatten it a little, or to make it just a little easier, you could take this, select that, and scale it down to about that. Now that's 2 pointed for 2. There we go. Then you bring it over here, copy it and paste it. This is just to make time shorter. You put the first toe there, paste, and now the second toe. First you gotta make sure that it lines up with the bottom. Then you drag it over. Kind of make it inside the toe so it appears that the big toe is covering the smaller toes. In fact, moving it to another layer would probably be a better idea. If you run out of layers at the top but you still have some at the bottom, you could just select them and drag them down and then paste it. So you do that again, making this one just a little bit smaller. And the next one, this will be the 5th toe. They seem to be falling out of place. There we go. The final two is Symmetry. If it looks weird, then you could smash them. You don't have to worry so much about the toes, since quite a lot of the time they'll just be covered with this shoe. Then to lay them down, you just do that. And one more thing before adding, I also got a new mouse, which makes scrolling freaking annoying to do. So select the layers and scroll them down just a little more. That way you can add one more thing to the toes, and that is the toe line. Probably a better idea to swap the layers of the big toe, make the layers for the small toe, or the layer for the small toe is under the big toe. That way it's covering them. Okay, and then layer 15, and the line for this big toe. And you can just copy and paste. Bend this one back a little more. And possibly that one too. And what you want to do now is take layers 15, 14, and 13. And make them all into one layer, or put them all into one layer. Go back, fix that. If you want to, you could select this, this, this. And then bring, since there's a pretty big gap here, you can bring it in just a little closer. And then put these back into the layer, pasting them on top so that they do cover the toes. And if you want to, you could expand them again just a little bit and add and connect them together. And remove this now. I guess I didn't need it after all, which means I just added it for nothing. to soften the curves up. I never really like having edged areas on the feet. Okay, so once you have that, obviously this wouldn't appear like this in real life, but give it a little bit of three-dimensionality. This liner, that a connection to different layers. And now that these layers are finally connected, you can start erasing some of these lines. Make this line appear less. And then finally is the part of coloring them in. Oh, before that, select the lines. This is just to give it the effect of, oh no, bring this to just a little more, completely cover this. Then you want to, this is just the effect of lines appearing then disappearing. But you take the line and make it into a gradient line. Have two whole black parts, and then make the middles alpha channels into 0. Okay, I just deleted the lines, I think. Okay. Listen. Then you make that alpha. Now if you want to do individual stuff, then all you gotta do is just move the alpha channel just a little bit. That makes it its own independent one. You do this, bring it over here. Then do the same with the other ones. This one, and over here. And this one. And this one. Oh, hold on. Okay. so noise always seems to be made whenever I'm making tutorials. So the final one is for the big tool. And yes, there is a motorcycle making a lot of unnecessary noise. I need to make a silent motorcycle. That'd be the best motorcycle ever. Okay. I'm spending too much time on the toes. Okay. So now that the toes are done, you go view all the area covered. You go back up to here. I don't know why I didn't connect this up here first, but oh well. Anyways, curve this. Make sure the curve is a nice one. Don't make your curves like all weird and everything. In fact, this looks too big of a curve. Take this part. Return the line back to black. Okay, there's a nice curve. Now it's starting to look all weird. I'm going to bring the chest up just a little bit. Just a little bigger. Maybe I should do this first. Connect this area to the shoulder area. No. Okay, now that we have that part done, it's time for the arms. For the arms, you put the arm right here first. I don't want it straight up on this character's side. Kind of bend it. And now the neighbors are talking loud. I always do this where I kind of indicate or show the curve of the elbow just a little bit. My thumb's looking, gets a little too big up here. And you zoom out to see how everything fares with the rest of the body. Now you see how huge the head is. So you just resize it. There, nice size of that. Then here's where, well, no, I'll do that next. Now, here's the arm. And about right here, I would show the fingers. At first you don't have to worry about them looking like actual fingers. That's the line tool, so not gonna be affected very much. So now what you want to do is curve the lines into the shape of fingers. There are a couple ways you show a thumb. Now this part is basically just getting it to look right. back finger. Back finger. Yeah, to the other fingers. And zoom in, and then curve the fingers a bit. And paste in place. Erase the lines that run through the fingers. And then the thumb looks pretty big, so you just bring the arm back. Now if you want to, bring the thumb to layer 4. Connected by this line. Color the thumb in. Actually, not above it. Should have it. Oh, yeah, actually, like, getting mixed up with everything. Here, and then curve it back to make it connect to the arm. This is just for visual acceptance. We want to go through the extra trouble to make sure it looks visually correct on every single layer. Then layer 2, where the other arm is, you color it in. Something's not connected in layer 2. I don't know how your flash is. Now then, paste that in. Oh, there we go. Shoulder. So to get the shoulder, we just go to paste this part. Oh, no, get this part and this part. The cutoff point. Layer 2. Make it the arm look like this. And then cut off point. Would enable you to do that. Then up on the higher area, you copy the cutoff point. And on layer 7, paste in place, and cut this area off. Then you connect this part. Change the alpha channel to 0. Macromedia Flash's issue is that it won't keep the alpha channel at 0. It does that. Okay, so here you can see this. And this is where the symmetry line comes in place. Once you have the whole thing done, copy, paste in place, Control, Alt. Okay. You flip it, which is weird. On here, modify, transform, flip horizontal, flips vertically. Horizontal like the horizon, you would think it would flip it up or down. And vertical, you would think it would flip it left and right. Vertical, up and down, horizontal, left and right. Okay, so there. If you feel that your character looks like their legs are, especially this one looks way, it's way too inward. Just select the leg areas. Make sure that the symmetry area won't get affected. Okay, so it should be about here. Okay. So then after that, you select the leg. And then just bring it out. About. Okay then. And you go in again. Control. Control X. Now we solve the extra part. And there's there. And there's there. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I had to do something else. But, where was I? The legs. So now that I got the legs rotated, first select the lower parts. And this. Hip, and everything on that side should be erased. So then you connect the hip area to there. Give her, no, that's too small. Select the body, copy, paste, flip horizontal, should really be vertical, but unless they made that for some reason. Then you take the arm and you do the same thing. Copy, paste, flip. Okay, now that I see this, we got to, okay, so I can erase these since they're hidden by the other part of the fingers and the hand. And basically here you just take the fingers and the hand, put it over here, and the thumb. Bring it over here. There we go. Now aside from that, if you want to make it completely symmetrical, then you just use these lines of symmetry, copy, paste, and then you start coloring the body in. You cut those. Then for these parts, you can cut these, or if the alpha channel worked, then bring them down to 0. And then they would disappear, but they would still be there. But since it's not working, I'll just take them off for now. And color in the hair. Select the chin area. And then finish the head and the chin. Now I'm not going to erase this circular part yet because this is still for something. So now you go out here to check how the female body looks, and if it looks weird, like I can tell that the chest looks very, well, not really the chest, but I'm pretty sure I made the chest look weird as well. But here, moreover. You can do this, hold shift and control, and then bring the area out a little more. This is why I wish the alpha channel worked, because with the alpha channel hiding those lines, they still exist, so you could paint them in without having to worry. But if the alpha channel doesn't work and you erase the lines, then you have to re-add the line just to get it to not work. In this area, if it's too pointed, you could do that. Then if you want to change the shape, you just select the lines and bring them out. Okay, that seems good enough. is me just being stingy. You wouldn't be able to see those if you were zoomed out. Okay, so there's the female base. And then in part 2, I'll be making the clothing for the character. I'll be adding facial features, clothing, and whatever else, hair and stuff. So stay tuned for that part. I hope you found this tutorial of the base useful. If you did, please subscribe and comment below on anything else that you might want to see in Macromedia Flash. And I'll be back with another tutorial. Probably gonna make it after this one, just cutting this one off. So thanks for watching, and Jamata.